Desk Geek. I wanted to come to you on New Year's Eve and do a final video for 2016. And thank you so much for all the support. We hit 1,000 subscribers, over 1,000 now, over a quarter million views on the videos. Certainly the 30 Days of Linux challenge being one of the most popular series I've ever done. So thank you guys so much for your support. Very young channel, but we've grown exponentially. I can still remember getting my first subscriber, which was my wife, and being like, awesome. And then the third one came in, and the fourth one came in, and then 10. And then I was so excited about 100, and now I'm at 1,000, and the numbers grow every day now exponentially. So thank you so much for the support. Thank you to the community. This community is one of the coolest in the world. Honestly, I've probably had 5 troll comments in my entire YouTube run here, which is very, very unique because I go around in YouTube and constantly see the nasty people around who really kind of drudge down or think they're being funny or whatever. But here it just seems like, based on the videos that I'm doing, that I just get a lot of really cool people who are interested in learning and also interested in teaching, which is so cool. They give me additional information and help me do better and better. But what I want to do in this video is just a review of the tech of 2016. This is a tech educational channel, by the way, so I thought we would take a look at some of the things that came out in 2016 or were really popular in 2016, not necessarily their first run, but became really popular in 2016, and see your comments on them, what you think about the tech that happened in 2016. Was this a good year for tech, or was it a bad year? We know it was a bad year for celebrity deaths. We lost a lot of great celebs. But as far as technology, innovation, and companies, did things progress really well there? So the first thing that came to mind when I was reflecting on this was virtual reality. Virtual reality was kind of like the promised land. There was so much anticipation and excitement. I remember several times thinking, I'm going to go ahead and pre-order the Vive or the Rift, or even when the PlayStation headset came out, I thought, man, with the price point that's going to be at, certainly that's going to make a big dent. Even though, I'm fully PC Master Race, I thought it would be a pretty inexpensive way to get in VR. And I don't know about most of you, but I kind of felt the whole VR thing has fallen a little flat. And I think it's because a lot of us, the majority of the public, are still trying to justify with the type of games and things that are out there whether this is really going to be worth the cost of entry or not. And I haven't officially played with one or owned one, so I can't say one way or another. But in watching Twitch streams and a lot of reviews and things, it seems the overall consensus is it's really cool to show your friends. It's really cool to show your parents. It may be even fun to play with for an hour or two, but outside of that, you're going to get some sickness, eye strain, and other things. So it doesn't really seem like they fully perfected this yet. And nobody has any games out that are just like, God, I got to get a VR headset so I can play it. So I know that I think the Vive and the Rift probably as well are coming out with some lower cost options next year. And I think that will be interesting to see what happens. I also have noticed there's a big gap there with Microsoft, and they haven't yet entered into this arena, and I think they will. And my guess is it will have something to do with more augmented reality, which I think is probably a good move on Microsoft's part, because the augmented reality versus just the virtual reality is going to be very interesting in that I can use this headset for more than just games. Meaning if it can be something that can fit in glasses, like almost like the Google Glasses idea, and walk around town with it, and I've got some augmented reality with, emails or things popping up telling me about the locations I'm in, and then I can go home and play some games with that. That may be something more people could justify than purchasing. Also, of course, if more better games and come out for virtual reality and they figure out ways to stop the nausea and the eye strain. But virtual reality seemed like this huge promised land. We're out of the honeymoon phase now. We're in the reality of having VR right there before us, but it just, at least for me, isn't tempting enough. But maybe you've purchased it, maybe you love it, maybe you play for hours. Let me know in the comments below what you think about VR. The other interesting thing in 2016 to me was Apple. Apple stumbled all over itself this year. Dongles, 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 dongles is the big theme. Most people, if you've not seen it, there's a video YouTube engineer video. I'll link it in the comments below. It's hilarious, and it's not really an Apple engineer, but it's just a funny spoof. But Apple's definitely shown a knack for creating mediocre products this year, which is obviously a big shift from where they used to be. Their iPhone offerings were re- really exciting, non-exciting. Their new MacBooks are a complete disaster. Taking away all the ports and everything else, giving some of the designers and people who use some of their premium products for graphic design, etc., very little option or hope that there's going to be an ability to continue or want to continue to use a Mac for the price. The only thing they added was the emoticon bar crap thing that, I mean, it's neat and it'd be something that would be kind of cool to have, but not a reason why I would buy a laptop in itself. And having to connect dongles everywhere and connect this to that, it's really shocking. Apple's trying to do this minimalist approach to such an extreme that it's really killing itself. And then you can't even connect your iPhone to the laptop. I mean, if you don't make your own products integrated, what are you doing? So Apple, I just think when you come from where Apple was and where they are today, it's fascinating. And then the fact that really the most beautiful laptop launched in 2016 was the Microsoft Surface. Microsoft Surface was probably the most beautiful laptop launched in 2016, the Surface line. So fascinating that Microsoft is really taking the crown for aesthetics and beauty in product. At least that's my personal opinion. I think the Surface is without a doubt their new Surface laptop, one of the most gorgeous laptops on the market, and it has ports. So there's that, Apple. Next, I would say in 2016, one of the most exciting things was drones. I ended up getting a drone. I'm going to do one of the reviews in 2017 now, which is just a day away, on the DJI Phantom that I picked up. And it's fun. It is so much fun. It is so cool. It's scary because I've never had a toy that flies way high in the air and goes really fast and can fall away from you and break, and you're out $400 before like that. But it is a fun toy, and DJI has done a fantastic job with it. Yes, I know there are way better drones and there's different companies and all this stuff, but that's the one I got on Black Friday, and I'm enjoying it so much. It's just such a cool product, and we'll get into that. But drones are everywhere. Everybody's loving and enjoying it, and I got into the hobby, and I could see why it's so much fun. So 2016, I think, was a really good year for GPS enabled drones, which is quite a bit different than some of the drones that I've had in the past where they don't have the GPS. So you're constantly fighting the wind and everything else to keep it stable. Now it's pretty much idiot proof. I mean, if I can fly the thing, anybody can. So the drones were a big thing in 2016. I would say home integration was a big thing. These Philips light bulbs and Wi-Fi security systems, Wi-Fi cameras, Wi-Fi microwaves, Wi-Fi ovens, Wi-Fi dishwashers, Wi-Fi. I mean, the integration of all of these devices and the amount of devices you now need to connect to your Wi-Fi router is incredible. And 2016 was a big year for that. Everybody was getting into the home integration idea, and it seems to be taking off fairly well. I don't know what the sales numbers are, but it certainly seems to be everywhere. Tons of YouTube videos on that type of stuff. Interestingly enough, as techie as I am and as much as I geek out on that stuff, I really don't have any interest in Wi-Fiing my light bulbs and all of that. But maybe that'll change if I get one and start playing with it. But certainly a lot of integration of the devices within your home, communicating through network, being able to control them through your wireless device was a big deal in 2016 and will probably continue to next year. One of the surprise players of 2016, in my opinion, was Nintendo. They had a really impressive year for not really releasing a new console, as long as you exclude the fact that probably the most popular console for Christmas happened to be the throwback console. When I say they didn't release a new console, they didn't release the new Switch, a new innovative console. They went retro, released the old NES Classic like box that connect through HDMI, and also Pokemon Go. Even though that wasn't directly Nintendo making a ton of money from that, that certainly put them heavily on the map and sold a lot of Pokemon Sun and Moon, I'm sure, for them on their DS. So they really had a great year, and it really just shows you how solidified they are in the hearts of gamers and those of us that grew up in that generation when they released some of these throwback things and people just eat it up, or the Pokemon Go app became a phenom all over the world and people just ate it to pieces. Nintendo has that ability to get into the heart of gamers, and they proved it this year. Next year we've got the Switch coming out, which I'm excited to get my hands on and see. As much as I'm PC Master Race gaming, it's Nintendo and you can't replicate that anywhere else. So I'm excited to see what they do with the Switch and see how it turns out. I'll probably pre-order one. That's just I'm old school like that and love Nintendo. So I also have a video on the retro box, which I think was really cool, experiencing my kids being able to play with the original Nintendo and seeing them, of course, get frustrated and die and all that stuff within the games. And that was fun because I remember really wanting to break those controllers many times, and seeing them go through that frustration is just joyous as a parent. Just is. Pro gaming, I think that really took off in 2016. The Twitch has a lot of pro gaming series, people making serious money on Twitch and through pro gaming tournaments for CSGO, for some of the MOBA games out there. And also I saw tournament games on sports channels for the first time. TBS definitely, I think it was TBS was streaming a bunch of CSGO tournaments and things. So seeing really gaming come into the mainstream for one of the first times where you're seeing it televised like a sporting event was very cool to see. And I think there's going to be a huge pocket of money for people to win next year as well, because those tournament gaming is only going to expand. I want to talk about digital watches as well. Those were pretty popular. My wife got an Apple Watch, Samsung. Again, I think those kind of have fallen flat still until they come out with a completely wearable Pip-Boy like device. I'm probably not going to jump into that arena. Interestingly enough, I was kind of researching what was out there when I switched to Android, and there's just none of those watches really that I can fathom why I want to have yet another device charging on my nightstand to really integrate or want to purchase it yet. But the digital wear, I should say, very popular in 2016. A lot of manufacturers throwing their hat in the ring. Not a lot of people biting on it just yet. The Apple Watch probably being prevalent, the most popular out there, but it'll be interesting to see what happens in 2017 with that and how they can figure out a way to make those truly a necessity for people, to be their third or fourth screen that they just have to have, like a cell phone, TV, computer, etc. Electric skateboards, electric scooters, those were all the rave. In fact, I want one. I want one of those electric skateboards, but damn, they're expensive. Hopefully they drop in price in 2017. Just the kid in me that used to skateboard back in the day. My wife's like, if you get on one, you're going to hurt your back, you're going to hurt your knees, you're going to whine. And she's probably right. But I see it, and I just think it's so cool to have electric skateboards, and with the little remote control and the, hover boards that you can ride around that catch fire if you get a no-name brand one. But I think that was pretty cool to see all of that come out this year. So overall, I think 2016 was a pretty good year for tech. Let me know in the comments below what I missed, some big things that I missed. It was a great year for Linux, obviously, great year for Linux for me, and obviously for my channel. But Linux has certainly come to its own, and I think that the amount of popularity behind those videos shows how popular Linux has become in 2016 and 2017. There's even more for them out there, especially if they can start getting into the mobile market, etc. They may be able to take the market by storm. So thank you for all the support. This channel, obviously, it's in its infancy, but thank you to all the incredible viewers and commenters and people who participate and make this an actual community. Thank you for all that you're doing. We're going to have a lot of exciting videos for you in 2017. We've had so much information that we've been able to share and I've been able to deliver to fill your brains in 2016, and 2017 is going to be even better. So until next time, until next year, get out there and fill your brains.
Don't get subscribed. Does not like the video.